Joel, what's going on?
Oh man, it's a
Um,
gorgeous day. The draft is 3 nights away. I'm
yep,
excited.
it's a good time to be a Giants fan right now.
Yes.
Um, the draft's around the corner. It flew here. Really looking forward to it. I wanted to do a mock here. I've been having a really difficult time trying to figure out what's going to go on with the first two picks mainly, but it's gonna get good. We're gonna do an NFL wide mock draft with trades most likely. Um, and yeah, I see Al here. Thanks for being here, Al.
Hey,
And
Al.
I believe he's subscribed to you. I see him in your streams sometimes.
Yep.
But
Well,
so,
here's just real quick. You guys are finally going to get to see what I saw in the early 70s, early 80s, late 70s when George Young got here. We were a really bad franchise. The 70s was bad football, and Young came into the building, and it took him 4 years to change everything over. And it looks like that Joe Shane is going to be able to beat that mark by leaps and bounds. And I'm not going to lie in what I'm seeing. If everything comes to fruition with the way he's doing things and his talent level, as is able to pick out those jewels in the later rounds, the Giants aren't that far off. And that's what it comes down to. You guys are seeing a true rebuild. Eli Manning, when he was drafted, after the second year, third year, people wanted him gone. Phil Simms, second year, third year, people wanted him gone. Daniel Jones, second year, third year, people want him gone. It's the same process of the New York Giants. It's always been the New York Giants for as long as I've watched them.
mm-hmm.
But being able to watch this broke down from a really bad roster, and now you guys are going to see the growth, the development, and the talent that's going to be on this team. And it is an exciting time. I am not going to lie. Pat's running a little bit late, Al.
Yeah, Pat. Hopefully, he's going to be on shortly. But
Right.
before we start the mock, I want to talk a little bit about the Giants because over
Oh,
the past couple days, there's been some news. I don't think it's necessarily. I mean, we talked about it before we went live. I don't think it's that true, but I mean, they obviously know a lot more than we do. Um, but what do you think on the Kadarius Tony front? We'll start with that.
oh my goodness. Where do I want to start? Okay. Um, it's voluntary. Let's
Mm-hmm.
keep that in mind throughout everything. Voluntary. And look, I get it. Part of being a good teammate, everybody else is there.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a 1 year player. He learned what it took to have to be in shape to be a player. He had a lot to process. Okay, now Kadarius Toney's not your typical wide receiver that was drafted in the first round. He was a backup. He was a quarterback at Florida, transitioned to wide receiver, got hurt, and then was out there as a wide receiver with Pitts, one of the best tight ends in the NFL, one of the best tight ends in college. Okay, so he
Mm-hmm.
had a lot taken off of him, but he's still a dynamic player. But now he went to college. Okay, he was just coming into his own at Florida. And now he's got to relearn everything again because it's the pro level. Everybody's all American. We know that up here.
Mm-hmm.
So he probably went down in Florida, was working out and doing a few things. And you know what? His training regiment might have gone a little bit longer with what he was working on: routes, stamina, strength, and conditioning. We all know sometimes interrupting that can be more hurtful than it can be helpful. It would have been helpful if he was there, but he only missed a couple of days and he's in the building. So
Mm-hmm.
everybody just took that and run with it. And it's almost like Giants fans are trying to find something that they can be upset about. And I don't understand that. We have been such a bad franchise for 10 years, and all we've done is complain. And it's like we have to continue to complain about something. It drives me nuts the way people are thinking.
Mm-hmm.
If this was a mandatory workout and he missed it, okay, I'd be worried.
Yep.
But when you work 40 hours a week, whatever, and then the boss wants you to come in on Saturday for a little bit of, voluntary work, are you going to do it all the time? A good
Mm-hmm.
employee is going to do it once in a while.
And it's not just going. He's got to go. He's got to travel from wherever he's coming from. And I know that the rest of the team's doing it, and people say, well, if Galladay and Shepard, who's injured, is there, why shouldn't he be there? But
Christopher.
Yeah,
Right.
Christopher. And yeah, Al Smith. I'm going to get to that now. I
Yep.
agree. I think he will be a Giant. I think he's going to be a Giant for the full duration of his rookie contract. I think Dable's going to be able to use him really well in the offense. I really do. And he was actually there today. He was in New Jersey. He was at the voluntary minicamp today. So that obviously is encouraging as a Giants fan. But overall, I mean, at the end of the day, it's voluntary. And you heard Shane and Dable say that. Dable said that he's got, plays in his
Right.
playbook for Tony. I mean, that doesn't sound like a guy who's ready to ship him away. And if you ask yourself as a Giants fan, what are you going to get for Kadarius Toney? If it's not a late first-round pick at, worst,
Least.
like, it doesn't make sense to trade him. It just doesn't. You spent the 20th overall pick on him last year. If you're going to trade him for a third-round pick, what's the point? Because obviously someone thought he was a first-round talent last year, and it was actually not just I know Dave Gettleman's a clown, but it wasn't just him. We heard GMs and coaches come out after the draft and say that if the Giants didn't take him, we would have taken him late first round. So he is a first-round pick to many people. Why would you trade him for a third-round pick? You saw flashes of what he can do against Dallas. You saw flashes in the Saints game. You saw flashes in the Rams game until he got hurt. So he can be good. Coach Dante, what's going on? Thank you for joining.
Again, Kadarius Toney is a very special player, and he could be big market. He could be the guy on this team. Now, the Giants have never won with a flashy wide receiver. They never had that tool. They were never a flashy organization when it comes to winning. They were hard-nosed, ground and pound, throw it when they had to football teams.
Mm-hmm.
We had the three-headed monster. We had Earth, Wind, and Fire. That was a phenomenal running back, and that's how we won, was running. When have we ever been a passing team? We've always had decent pass wide receivers, but we were never really known as a passing team. Even when Plex was here. But Plex was just a do-it-all for Eli. He was always there, confidence. So, as far as Kadarius goes, he's going to be a Giant.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's talk of Darius Slayton being traded. Him I could see, but we've been saying that for a while. So we still have Bradbury.
I think he could be cut, to be honest with you. I think Slayton could honestly be cut because the Giants, people still don't, something that doesn't go through people's minds is we still got to clear up some cap over the course of the next 72 hours.
Right.
How are we going to do that?
Well, Shane has a plan. He's probably going to give somebody like Leo an extra year or something.
Mm-hmm. Is that smart to give Leo an extra year, though?
No, but you're going to have to do what he has to do this year. But if you're going to extend anybody, Leo Williams is the guy I would give another year to over just about anybody with a big hit. I'm not going to do it for Galladay.
I would do it for Adoree Jackson.
Yeah, I think we already did.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We did, actually.
Yep.
And they did that for him and Graham Gano, actually. Yeah.
Yes. So Leo's the next guy on the depth chart, I think, because, look, Leo went out there injured at the end of the season last year. He was still balling, man.
Yeah. And then we have decisions to make, of course, with Jones and Dex on the fifth year. I think we know what route they're going with in terms of Jones, but I think they should pick up the fifth year for Dexter Lawrence.
$10 million hit on him.
Yeah, but if you take a look at this offseason, what some below end defensive tackles guy. You take a look at
That's
Austin Johnson. I
that's
mean,
true.
I
That's
think
true.
Lawrence is miles better than Johnson, and it's not a huge commitment. I mean, it's a 1-year commitment, and 10 million is not. It's a lot, but it's not
Right.
ridiculous. I still think he's
Well,
if he stays on pace to what he did, he's a $7 million defensive tackle, and you could hope that he takes a step up.
But here's what you have to think of. DJ's, if we pick up DJ's 50 year, that's 21 million. Barkley's going to get a bag of money, and then Dexter. I mean, my God, you're looking at more than half of what we have for money next year between those three guys.
Mm-hmm.
That's the issue. You're looking at $50-60 million for those three guys. Are they worth it?
Yeah, it's. I mean, let's hope they make the right decision. Let's go now. Slayton being chopped, possibly.
Yes.
I don't really know what we would get for him. Probably like a 5th round pick, which honestly,
he was a 5th rounder. I'd take it.
Yeah, you would save over $2.5 million.
But now let's not forget, Giants fans thought he could be a number 1 receiver in year 2. Let's not forget that.
I don't hate him.
Right.
I don't think he's great, but I don't hate him. I think for what he was, I mean, what was he, a 5th round pick, 6th round pick? I mean, you got a good player considering where he was drafted. So, yeah, I don't. And here's Big Pat Sports Talk.
There he is.
What's going on,
feeling
fellas?
better.
Yep, feeling a lot better, man.
Look at that. I see a glow. Woo.
What's going on, Pat?
And nothing much. What's the subject today, LA?
Well, right now we're just talking a little bit about the Tony and the Slayton news that's come out, but the main reason I wanted to go live, I wanted to do a mock draft, an NFL-wide mock draft. So I appreciate you for coming on. And yeah, so
it's gonna be a good time.
What do you think about the Tony and the Slayton rumors?
Well, you got to know where it's coming from. The source that it's coming from is coming from Pat Leonard.
Yep.
This guy, much as of a clown or a moron or whatever you want to call him, I think that he is
all of the above.
He's pretty damn smart because he knows that the Giants fan base right now is itching for something toxic because we haven't been winning. And so if you put anything out there negative, they're going to eat it up. And I have to call him very smart for doing that. That was very smart. Kadarius Toney didn't show up for voluntary workouts. So let's put out something saying that the Giants are done with him and they want to trade him. Everybody's going to eat that up. Look at the reaction that he got. So he wins. Like when you follow this guy, he wins. Everybody knows that this guy, out of every 10 reports that he reports, 9 of them at least are not true. But this Giants fan base is toxic right now. So they're looking for anything. They're looking to bash anybody. They jump from Saquon Barkley. They jump to Daniel Jones. They jump to Tony. They just jump on anybody. Now he's saying that they're trying to trade Slayton. I thought they were just trying to trade Kadarius Toney. So now that the Tony news is broke, that he's actually in the facility and has his playbook. Now let me jump to Slayton. That's another guy that they want to get rid of. Let me put that report out, and everybody's going to jump on that too. So I have to say the guy's a moron, but he's very smart. He found a way that being a moron is actually very smart right now. So
out of the 2 reports, which one? Because Dan Duggan, I think he's a better source than Pat Leonard. I think Pat Leonard always throwing darts at the board and hoping to God they hit. That's what I've always felt of him. But what do you think about the Slayton news? I definitely think it's possible. I think it's more likely we trade Slayton than Tony. What do you think?
I definitely believe that's way more possible to Kadarius Toney. Kadarius Toney was a 1st round pick last year. You mean to tell me that you're willing to give up on him after 1 year because he missed voluntary workouts? The word that everybody's missing is voluntary. It's voluntary.
And he was back today.
So if I miss voluntary workouts and an organization wants to get rid of me, well, I don't want to be with that organization.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Make it mandatory. If it means that much to you, make it mandatory.
Mm-hmm.
If it's mandatory, I'll be there. I'll be there to work out. I'll be there to do what I'm supposed to do. But voluntary, hey, look, 7 months out the year, 6, 7 months out the year, I'm with you guys. I have a family as well.
Mm-hmm.
So if I could get an extra week with my family, that means a whole lot to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's voluntary. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're going to fire me or get rid of me for voluntary, well, this is an organization I don't want to be with then.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I would look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it didn't seem like Shane and Dable were really upset.
And that's it. People forget that these guys are human too. They got families, man. I mean, look at, would you want to miss time to go voluntary work on a Saturday, miss time with your family on a, get out of here.
Half the people don't even want to go to work, and when it's mandatory. So
Right.
you really tell me that
Right.
that you're gonna be all in for voluntary? Shit, heck no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't. I think they're smoke screens at this point. But Pat, in terms of the draft and as far as the first two picks go, where do you see that going? Because a lot of people now have Trayvon Walker number one. I still got Aiden Hutchinson, but I just want to hear you out on that.
Well, just to touch on the Trayvon Walker news, guys, that's legit. That dude literally can go number one. They have legit interest in Trayvon Walker.
Nope.
They believe his upside is immense because they think it's through the roof. They think that he was in that Georgia defense and he was being held back because they had so many people on that field at one point.
Had some serious weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That defense had 8 NFL players on it.
Yeah.
So,
at least. Yeah.
I do have a mock draft coming out. Sorry for the shameless plug, but I got one coming out premiering at 6 p.m. Eastern. It's a very interesting one, but as far as the 5 and 7 pick, I want them to get the best tackle at 5 and then go best player available after that.
I agree.
Go best player available after that.
Agree. I completely agree. And one thing, the only way I would go away from that is if Kayvon Thibodeau is there at 5 with 2 tackles. If that's the case, I'm going Thibodeau first, and then whichever tackle falls in my lap at 7.
Yeah, that's the smart thing to do.
I would do that, but I don't think Thibodeau and 2 of the tackles are there. I mean, that would be that would be unbelievable if that were the case. But I don't know, and I don't know what the Panthers are doing. That's a team that kind of, I don't want to say scares me, but they confuse me a little bit because I don't know if they're going to trade back. I don't know if they like Cross at that pick. Who knows if they like Kayvon Thibodeau? That's a really interesting pick for me. And of course, they're right in between our 2 picks. So that one really that comes to that that really is interesting to me. So who knows what they do there? I don't think they take a quarterback unless it's Malik Willis. But I don't know if Willis gets there.
That can be very true as well. But I would like to ask you one question, LA Sports. Everybody,
don't know.
What happened, Joe?
Oh no, I just talking to myself. I'm crazy like that.
I would like to ask you a question. What makes Kayvon Thibodeau so immensely like you want to grab him so much? If you do want to grab him so much, if he does fall to number 5, what about Kayvon Thibodeau excites you to where you just gotta have him? Because a lot of fans are like going crazy. I gotta have Kayvon Thibodeau. What's the reason why, if you are like that, why are you wanting to grab him so bad?
I'm not as crazy as some of the guys on Twitter. Some of the guys on Twitter, like, they would sacrifice everything to get him. I'm not like that. I prefer, if we only had one first round pick and you got a choice of Ekwonu or Thibodeau, I'm going Ekwonu because the tackle is just, for us right now, it's more important than the edge rusher. But because we have 2 picks, I would absolutely love to go Thibodeau because I mean, you just take a look at how important the edge rusher position is for us, and I mean, we've lacked an edge rusher for how many years now? I mean, and it's just such especially now, it's such an important position in football, and for the defense that the Giants are going to run here under Wink Martindale, that edge rusher position, it becomes that much more important. And if you can put Azeez Ojulari on the other side of Kayvon Thibodeau, the defense it looks that much more scary. I think he's a game-changing edge rusher. And you take a look at where people had him going in November, it was first overall, and some people didn't even have anyone close to him. I really, really like Kayvon Thibodeau, and if the Giants were able to get him and one of the tackles, I think it's a slam dunk in the draft.
Okay, well, I have one more question.
Mm-hmm.
When you looked at Wink Martindale's defenses the past 4 years, excluding this year because everybody is hurt.
Yeah,
how many top? Let's just say how many top 10 edge rushers has Wink Martindale had on his defense?
Nah. I mean, outside of Matt Judon, you haven't really had that guy. But the Ravens haven't had. I mean, their defenses could have been a lot better if they had better edge rushers. And as much as important as the edge rusher is, I think a cornerback, the secondary automatically becomes important as well, because if you're rushing the quarterback as much as he's going to rush the quarterback, you're going to need to make stops defensively. But the Ravens really haven't had. I mean, they really haven't had a crazy edge rusher in Martindale's time there.
And that's the exact point I wanted to get to. The best edge rusher that the Ravens have had has been Matthew Judon. And they never finished below 3 before all the injuries, 3 in the league. So their defense can't get too much better. They've never finished below number 3. It was 1, 3, then 2. So I'm not saying that he doesn't need an edge rusher. What I'm saying is he doesn't need a supreme edge rusher to make his defense successful, because he gets pressure off fabricated blitzes.
Mm-hmm.
So a Kayvon Thibodeau would be nice. Not gonna lie to you, but it's not like we won't be able to get pressure without a Kayvon Thibodeau or someone like that, because he's done it his whole career. What he really needs is good safety play. He needs that safety that can guard the whole middle of the field, which I believe Xavier McKinney is that. And he needs that box safety that can just screen back to his zone and guard someone. And he needs linebackers.
Mm-hmm.
He needs linebackers that can cover more than what a dominant edge rusher is.
Mm-hmm.
It's like everybody's telling me, Joel and Lou, y'all got to get with the times. Y'all too old school. Y'all think too old. You're not going with the times. Well, what we do is we actually study film, and we actually look at what's coming to the team. Wink Martindale is not a base defense type guy all the way through the game. He's not. So he fabricates pressure with blitzes. And we have a lot of versatile pieces at the edge rusher already. Not saying that we don't need to get one, but I'm not going to be mad if they take, let's say, Kyle Hamilton and Thibodeau is right there at 7, and they take Kyle Hamilton. I know what they're doing. You just sat there and told me that Matthew Judon was the best edge rusher that he had his whole time with Baltimore, and he's had a top 3 defense the whole time. Go ahead, Joe.
Well, I was going to say we got Ojulari and Roche, and they're promising young talent. I want to see what develops with those guys, to be God's honest truthful with you. I mean, my God, did you see Azeez Ojulari when he sat down? His arms are twice the size they were last year.
Yeah,
I think that boy's been working out. Yeah, he's been working out, man. That guy got a taste of something last year. 9 sacks, 8.5, whatever the hell it was. He got a taste of something last year. I gotta agree right now with what Pat's thinking. Roche, if he bulked up like Aziz did, man, you're looking at 2 guys now on the edge. Whew.
Then you got Ellerson Smith to back him up, who's a big, tall. Like they might move him to the inside to try to play that what's the Calais Campbell role? Who knows? Then we signed Jahad Ward, who knows the system.
We haven't even seen what he's about. So he could be good.
There's talent on the team. You can't deny that. It just has to be brought out.
What I'm worried about is the middle linebacker position. That's what I'm worried about.
And that's why
I'm glitching here.
I really like Nakobe Dean. He's my favorite linebacker in the draft, and I know 7 is way too early to take him there. And I don't even think that's a possibility, but I think if the Giants trade back, and I don't think that's very likely, but if they do trade back, I think he comes into consideration, and I think he's a guy who could even make it to the second round. He's falling down from mock drafts. Do you think he's got a shot to make it to 36?
Possibility, but go ahead, Joe.
Who's that?
Nakobe Dean. He says, do you think he has a possibility of making it to the second round? There's a chance.
There is, because I don't understand why everybody is downgrading the linebacker position. A lot of good linebackers have gone in the top 10. I don't understand why we're devaluating this linebacker position. Is it because of the offensive lineman and the edge rushing class is so deep? Is it the wide receivers and the safeties that are making people wonder? I really don't know, because usually there's always a linebacker that's talked about. Again, it's the draft. It's a smoke screen. Guys in the lower ends of the draft table are probably trying to create something to where they're going to be there. If Dean's there at 23, 24, that might be what somebody's shooting for.
And if there's a just putting on your GM hat, if there is a player like I'm just going to go with guys that I like in the range of 23 to 27. If there's like a Kenyon Green or a Nakobe Dean or a Zion Johnson sitting there, would you move up 10 spots or however much it is and piece 36 with one of our third round picks together, move up to the late first round and pick one of those guys up?
I'm going to say no, because if you look at last year, Azeez Ojulari fell to us in the second. We traded down twice. The year before that, we got Xavier McKinney. We get good value on those second round picks. Michael Strahan was a second round pick. It seems like the Giants, it doesn't matter. Them second round picks are always fire. So it's like, I don't know. We got equity trade in the second round pick last year. Do we do it again this year? I mean, if you got some guys in the third, fourth round, you're firing for, trading that second round pick for an extra third or fourth this year is not a bad idea.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. There's a lot of names that I really like that have really fallen down mocks. David Ajabo, he's a name that a lot of people liked before the injury, and now that he got hurt, they're like, get me the hell away from him.
And if he's there in the second round, Giants better grab that dude.
I would take him. I wouldn't even think twice, because I understand that injury is a big part of this game, and injuries could influence the way players play. It could influence their careers. But you take a look at David Ajabo and where he was before this injury, and I understand that torn Achilles is no joke. It's a serious injury. But we're talking about a guy that people were mocking the Giants to take him at 7 overall.
Yes.
And you're talking about a guy you can get 30 picks later who would just miss 3 or 4 games of the season, because they're saying he's going to be ready for week 3 or 4. I mean, I don't think that of course, that's if the Giants don't take an edge rusher in the first round. I think if he's there and you haven't taken an edge rusher, I think you take him. I don't even think you think twice. And I think he's a better player than people
Weed
make him
side
seem
effects.
before the injury because he was overshadowed there in Michigan with Aiden Hutchinson. I mean, when you're playing with that guy, you fly a little bit under the radar.
But he didn't fly too under the radar because that Michigan secondary was booty cheeks. All right. It was Ojabo and Hutchinson that were doing all the damage.
Yep. They have that one good guy in the secondary, but outside,
Right.
I think it was it Daxton Hill?
Right.
Yeah. Other than him, they don't have anybody. They don't have anyone there. Blue City Empire Sports. Yeah, Kadarius Toney was at the training facility today, and yeah, take that for what you will.
Right.
I mean, who knows if he really is? He could be, but who knows? But
I definitely will be with taking on Jabo at 36 because if he could play sometime during this season, which I think he is. I mean, man, the technology of getting these players healthy is absolutely amazing. A guy came from a ruptured Achilles in 6 months, 4 or 5 months. So,
and listen, Pat, just to interrupt you real quick though, what I would do with him, look, if we're winning, I play him at week 14.
Yeah, I sit him.
Yeah, let him get some game time when he's really healthy. You know,
that would be I mean, him with Azeez Ojulari and Wing Martindale's defense
would be absolutely amazing.
And hopefully you get a padded up secondary, but you're looking at a front four of Ojabo, Dexter Lawrence, Leonard Williams, and Azeez Ojulari. That's not a front four that people want to be messing with.
Let's remember Wink runs a 3-4. He's a base 3-4.
Yep, that is true.
So where that fourth guy's coming from, God only knows, because there's going to be 8 guys at the line of scrimmage.
And if you remember the game the Giants played against the Ravens, he was sending like 8 guys to blitz. I mean, that was unbelievable. You could see packages with 3 tackles and 3 edge rushers just flying out of left, right, and center. I mean,
right.
You don't even know what to expect from him.
Why we need a tight end.
Yep.
3rd round.
Yep. Which tight end do you guys prefer?
As long as he can block, I don't care. I want somebody who can block.
Yep.
I'd rather him learn pass catching. Sorry, Pat. Go ahead.
I'm just saying that kid from the Texans is pretty damn good. As far as a receiving tight end, Atkins. If we could get somebody like a Jeremy Rucker who's good at blocking and receiving, or Cade Otten, or Kolar, I would definitely be with that. I would definitely be with that.
My favorite is Rucker, and you take a. I mean, I think he could do so much. You're just taking a look at value where you could get him. I think it makes too much sense not to take him. I think he makes a ton of sense at maybe 112 if he gets there. I think that'd be a solid pick in the 4th round.
Mm-hmm.
What's the earliest you would take a tight end?
3rd.
I agree. I would not take one, and I don't even know if I'd take one at 67. I think at 81 would be the earliest for me. I think at 67 you could still get some solid value.
Yeah, but at 67, if the best tight end's there, I'm going to grab him.
Yeah.
It just depends on how these tight ends go, because somebody might value him in the 2nd round, and then
Mm-hmm. It's super interesting. And one guy I really like that's been Christopher Tony's asking, what about Leo Chenal in the 2nd or 3rd?
I can't take him in the 2nd, but I can see with that 2nd, 3rd round pick, if he's there, I would definitely look into it, but I can't take him with the 2nd.
I agree. I prefer the Oklahoma Sooner linebacker. I believe his name's Asamoah.
Yeah, Asamoah.
Yeah.
I prefer him.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like, he's super athletic too, so.
I agree. But what would be I want to know both of your opinions here. What would be with the first 3 picks, with 5, 7, and 36? What would be your dream scenarios? But keep it realistic.
You want to go, Pat, or you want me to?
I mean, 5, one of the top tackles. 7, best player available or trade back. And 36, if somebody like a Christian Watson or Jahan Dotson is there, I take them. But if not, if Christian Harris or somebody is there, I take them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I have been on record, and it's still true. Whatever way they go, I am not going to be upset at this draft.
Unless they take a quarterback, I will flip out.
Well, I ain't going to flip out. I'm going to want to see why they're doing it. I want to see
Mhm.
what's the root behind the cause of justifying that pick. Okay, because this is a new staff. I can't jump down their throats.
Mhm.
If this staff had been here for 3 or 4 years and I knew that, okay, that's a different story. But when you've got Shane and they're going to come in and set their hats on first year quarterback, that's a big price to pay for your job security, because you can get away with this year without getting one.
Mhm.
So that's going to be the big thing. But man, I'll tell you, if I could have it right now, Ekwonu at 5, I want Wilson at 7, and then see what other lineman drops in the second.
Wilson, the receiver, at 7.
Yes, but Pat has really talked me into that scenario, because we need a weapon on offense. Damn it. We've got everything that's unproven, can't stay healthy. We have got to have somebody on that field for 16, 17 games. We've got to have somebody reliable, dependable, an athlete, a playmaker, somebody that's going to go up there and get the ball, not just run around the field and go, okay, what now? I want
Right.
somebody out there that's going to make a difference, that DJ has some confidence. Because if you look at all our past receivers, Eli was just throwing the ball up half the time. The guy made a play.
Mm-hmm.
DJ don't have that. I want somebody out there on that field that's going to make a play.
Galladay was supposed to be that, and he hasn't done that so far. Hopefully,
Right. Get somebody else in there that can till we do. Damn it.
Hopefully, he turns it around. Though I still believe in Galladay.
Well, if we
think
could put
he's overpaid.
Galladay, Wilson, and Tony out there with Shepard as a backup because he always gets hurt, if we can get 12, 14 games out of him as a fourth receiver, I'm with it.
Right.
I personally would.
That's a tough call, isn't it?
To take another first round receiver, especially that early, is tough for me, especially because of how many how many good ones there could be in round 2.
We don't know what's going to happen after 5 and 7, though.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of talk on these receivers. They're talking about the Penn State Dahani Johnson. That's his name.
Jahan Dotson.
Jahan Dotson. He might be going the mid to late first.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you want to take a chance? No.
One guy I really, really like, and he's my personal favorite wide receiver. I love Sky Moore.
Yeah, Sky Moore is good too.
I mean, Sky Moore in the third, if he's there with a tight end. Okay, let's bring in some weapons. Look what Jamar Chase did.
I don't think he would get to round 3.
Yeah,
I know he doesn't.
I mean, if he made it to round 3, I would be smiling ear to ear, but
Kenny wasn't supposed to make it past 11.
Yep.
That's true too.
We don't know.
You don't know. Somebody might like somebody a little bit better at that position, and it keeps happening, and then he winds up making it to the second round or third round or wherever. I've seen crazier.
If those tackles aren't there, I could see him at the second.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Now, if all 3 tackles are on the board, who do you take?
Oh, me? I'll probably take Ekwonu.
I am going to try to do my damnedest to trade that 5th round pick. I'm going to do my damnedest to trade that 5th round pick.
Even if
it doesn't happen,
to 8, which I think it's a real possibility, because I think they could try and jump the Panthers to take Willis if he's there. I think that's a real possibility.
That's what I'm gonna. Man, I gotta turn my camera off. My internet's lagging. I gotta turn my camera off.
No
Man,
problem.
I mean, there's so many ways, but I'm also looking at what Pat says. We've got to have somebody that can go out there and be a playmaker. We don't have one. This guy's supposed to be. That guy's supposed to be. This I'm tired of supposed to be. We have no offense. We have no way of putting points on the freaking board. We have no guy that can be from the 30-yard line and run to the end zone and DJ drop it in there. We just don't have that.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, looking for Shane and company. I mean, if they were looking to get another first round for Tony, that tells me there's 3 guys in this draft that they like in the top 32.
Mm-hmm. And I want to go back to what James Davis said a few minutes ago. I just seen on Twitter, Chiefs and Vikings are in talks about trading the 12th overall pick. I don't know where he heard that.
Well, I got a feeling ever since they got rid of Tyreek Hill, they're looking for his replacement. And that
I
might
mean,
be Dotson at 12.
Garrett Wilson there would be, oh my God.
Yeah, that too.
Chris
just imagine
Olave or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Olave or
I could
Wilson.
definitely see them doing that.
I mean, that would be something. But if you guys are okay with it, I want to just do one
Sure.
mock.
Sure.
Um,
We'll figure something out.
and
Might not be right.
Are you guys good with that one?
Sure.
Yeah, it don't matter.
All right. All right, here we go.
It just seems like 3 weeks ago we were wishing the draft was here. Guess what?
It's
You guys
here.
got it?
Yes, sir. We see it.
All right. Here we go.
On the clock.
All right. What do you guys see happening at one? I still got Hutchinson.
Man, I tell you, the Walker hype is real.
Yeah, that stuff's real, man.
I can't.
They like that guy.
When a guy gets talked up like this, it's usually the guy that goes, correct?
Yeah, and normally it hasn't been like this in a long time when the number 1 pick hasn't been decided like 3 weeks before the draft at least. So
Yeah.
he's definitely in play. So I think Hutchinson will be the right choice, but that Walker kid is definitely in play, man. It's weird, but he's in play.
And it's weird to me that the weirdest thing for me, and it's why the combine to me is, I love the combine, but I just sometimes I think it's they take too much from the combine. Like, you take a look at when Walker moved up the draft boards, there were no games being played, which is what's crazy to me. Like, how, and the combine's much different. You don't, like, when you're rushing it, you don't have to go through a lineman. You don't have to, it's so different.
Right.
I still think it's going to be Hutchinson.
If you want to put Hutchinson there, go ahead. I like I said, the Walker stuff is real, so I could put him there too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Hutchinson, and then I think they go Walker here. I don't know. The order is so hard to pick, but I think this is gonna be 1 and 2.
You don't think Willis would go here? They're touting they're touting him up right now on social media. I've seen 2 or 3 experts already say he's the best prospect to come into the NFL this year. He has the most upside this year. He has the it factor this year. They're just talking him up.
Mm-hmm. And if you take a look at from the Lions standpoint, and you take a look at the prospects, the quarterback prospects next year, if I'm a Lions fan, I'm waiting another year. Or I'm waiting until pick number 32, because you could still get you could get a decent quarterback there. I mean,
Do you want to put your job title on the line for decent though? I mean,
Yeah, you
Right.
don't.
exactly. So if they don't go quarterback here, Sauce is going here. They got to have some defense.
You think
And
it's Sauce over Walker?
yeah, I think Sauce good. Look, I mean, it's listed the third position. They need a defensive back.
What do you think, Pat?
To be honest with you, I think they go Kenny Pickett.
Wow.
Wow, 3 different.
Oh,
I think they go Kenny Pickett. To be honest with you,
They need a cornerback or a safety, a corner. They need either or. Which is the best one? That's
wow.
my opinion. I mean, Dave Campbell was a tight end. He's an offensive guy.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Campbell. Sorry, not Dave. Dan.
That's I mean Pickett. I don't know that I wasn't expecting you to say that.
I always
Do you
expect the
think-
unexpected.
Yeah, that's true. Do you think there could be a trade back here?
No,
I don't think so either.
nobody's coming up that high.
The only team
Only one I can go ahead.
could-
I'm sorry.
the only one I could see, I still don't think it's likely, but it's the Falcons. That's the only team I could see.
I don't think they want to give up that much capital.
Right.
Who did you think, Pat?
I think they go Kenny Pickett. If they feel that Thibodeau is not going to fit the culture, I don't see Dan Campbell putting his job on the line for Malik Willis.
Because he's not a Thibodeau guy.
No. So I know Thibodeau's not going number 2.
Right.
Do you think? And you don't think Walker could go number 2?
I mean, he could if they. Well, it just depends, man. I just think Dan Campbell, his job is going to be on the line soon.
Right.
May not be fair, but you know how the NFL is. I think he wants to get the guy at quarterback because if he has another bottom out season,
Oh, he was giving
think they
Goff
get
the
ri-
stink eye all last year.
yeah. And
Mhm.
I think Kenny Pickett fits him better, and I don't think this guy's willing to put his job on the line for a quarterback. And let's be honest, they hyping him up in the media, but this guy needs a lot of work.
Well, Jeffrey, thanks for subbing up, man.
This guy needs a lot of work, and I think Kenny Pickett might be his guy.
Because he can set him for a year 2 and still have year 3 to bring him out.
Yep.
Doesn't
And
have to
with
start him.
I just pulled up the
that
chat.
rookie quarterback,
Thanks,
it
Pat.
buys him a little bit of time. So
Right.
Mhm.
I think he goes Kenny Pickett. I don't think he goes Malik Willis. I don't think he's willing to put his future on the line for Malik Willis, and I don't blame him.
Do you
I think he goes Kenny Pickett.
But do you think there's a possibility that he? Because you take a look at the next team that would go quarterback, it would be the Panthers or the Falcons. But do you think he would possibly wait till 32 and possibly trade up 7 or so picks?
No, because Pittsburgh's going to want a quarterback. The Saints are going to want a quarterback. The Falcons are going to want a quarterback. Carolina's going to be wanting something. Three quarterbacks could be gone before it gets to 32. Because the Saints and the Steelers are looking.
Unless they really like somebody like a Sam Howell.
Right.
Who knows? Pittsburgh might like Sam Howell themselves. So
Okay, Pat, I'm gonna take your pick.
I mean, it's your mock draft, bro. You don't have to. I mean, that's just my opinion.
It was a tough sell, but you sold him on that. Right.
Yeah,
I get
you-
it. I think
you
the same
sold
thing,
me.
man. It's either him or Sauce. They got to have a quarterback or a corner.
That's you sold me. I'm not gonna lie. If I were a Lions fan, I would hate them to go pick it, but for the reasons you said, I could see it.
I mean, I think Kenny Pickett would do better in Detroit than Malik Willis for sure.
Yeah, and they have an offensive line there in Detroit. That
Yes.
we'll give them
Yes.
that. That's the one thing they have. They have that. They have a tight end. they have a decent run game. They have Amon-Ra St.
They
Brown.
got Swift out there. Yep.
Because they might trade up with that 32 pick and get an edge rusher if Jermaine Johnson falls or one of those guys.
And oh wow, there's a trade that just happened.
There is.
It's a minor trade, but the Patriots dealt their 5th round pick to the Texans for a 6th and a 7th.
Yeah, that's a big Belichick move.
Well, there's talent in the 5th rounds, but okay.
It's
So the Texans have got to build their franchise with a cornerstone piece right here.
Yeah, I think I've been thinking for a long time now that they're going to take a tackle. And this lists them as needing every position. And
right.
If that's the case, there's no, and we've seen that firsthand as Giant fans, there's no better way. There's no better way to start up a team than starting up with the offensive line.
Well, they got Tunsil. They got some pretty good players over there. They have got, if they're sold on their quarterback, which rumors are they're sold on their quarterback, man, look, if they took Olave right here.
You have to factor in, though, they do have the 13th pick.
You're right. You're absolutely right. But the Jets could take a receiver. We could take a receiver. I forget who else is down there.
I highly doubt they go receiver at number 2.
Washington.
13.
Well, if Minnesota trades that 12th pick, Kansas City's coming up for one. You got to look at the teams in front of them. The Jets got 2 picks. One of those will probably be a wide receiver. Seattle.
They're not going receiver. They have Lockett and Metcalf.
Right. Unless one of those guys gets traded that day before. So that might be a happening. I don't know. You know what? Could Seattle trade with the Ravens? And the Ravens go up and get a weapon because they need a number 1 receiver. They have receivers, but they don't have that number 1 guy.
You're talking about?
Huh?
The Ravens?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's, again, if your guy's there, you've got to take him. That's the way it's going to work right now because there's no solidified 1, 2, 3. When there's a solidified 1, 2, 3, you can play a little bit of a guessing game because you know who's going. Now we don't know who's going.
Yeah.
I'm just saying for a shakeup, a surprise, a playmaker, somebody the fans can root for, that's a wide receiver. They need everything. And if you trust your quarterback, all right, you got to get him something. I mean, like I said, look what Chase did for the Bengals.
Yep.
Only way I see them taking a receiver right there is they absolutely sold on Davis Mills and they believe that he could be a franchise quarterback. Then, yeah, a weapon with Brandon Cooks would do them very good justice.
Yeah.
But that's the only way I can see it.
Taking a look at the wide receivers, though, look how many guys there are here that, these top 4 names right here are very good. And at 13, they would make sense. And are there 4 teams before number 13 overall that could take a receiver? I don't think so.
But you're talking about taking seconds. You're the first team up. You want your guy. You don't want anybody to have a chance at the guy you want. We're looking at this as fans. We got to look at this like a GM. If a GM loves Wilson, Williams is getting a lot of hype right now. He's saying he's not going to drop past 15, I think it is, 14, something like that. That's why the Chiefs are trying to trade up.
Yeah, I think Wilson goes pretty high. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean,
Wilson
Williams,
Olave.
Wilson and Williams, I think they go pretty high. Olave could sneak in there too.
Right.
If they talk about Dotson being a mid-round pick, those guys are going before Dotson. So, I mean, Joe might be right. I mean,
I'm just saying
He's doing a damn good job trying to sell me, but
Well, I'm working on it. I mean, that's my point. Is just look. You got to look at it from the GM's view, your team's view. What do you want the future of the team to be? And if you're going to run with a 4-string quarterback that you spent your only pick on last year, Davis Mills, you know what? If you won 2 games and you think he can do better, you saw production out of him, go with it. You know, that's what you have to do. You got a line.
I don't know. I still think that they go tackle.
If you think tackle, then put tackle up there.
I'm gonna go Quanu. I think 3 is early. You know, you take a look at the top 5. There's some really good players outside the receiver, and there's quite a bit of good receivers. And I get the point that they want their guy, but
look at the team right under them right now. What's their needs? What's the Jets' needs?
And the same thing goes for the Jets. I think they wait till 10 because I think they wait till 10 because you look at, you know, who comes after them. The Giants, the Panthers, the Falcons, and the Seahawks. And I think you've got to believe that with either the Panthers or the Falcons, a quarterback's going there. And with the Giants, an offensive lineman is going there. And I think the best defensive player available. So that right there takes 3 picks.
Okay.
Now you're left with 2. I think that's another offensive lineman. And then, unless there's a blockbuster deal, Seattle wouldn't take a receiver.
I said, I think somebody's getting ready to trade up to 9 to grab one.
That's the only
that can
thing.
Definitely happen.
Yeah. Again, I think a team that's going to be looking. So if I'm the Jets right now, and I think that, well, look, if I'm the Jets, okay, I need edge, corner, quarterback, wide. Oh, that's never mind. I'm looking at Jets. I'm going
to go and take with the Texans. I'm going to take a tackle. I think they go Quanu.
Okay.
Over Neal, and then that brings you to the Jets.
And if the Jets are afraid of the Seahawks trading,
that could be a possibility. I think Sauce is just.
They're not going to want to miss on their guy because they can get their guy right now.
Yeah, and looking at it from a Jets perspective, and you take a look at the way that their division just stacked up at the wide receiver spot in the offseason, you've got to believe you got to be able to stop those guys for a long time. You got to be able to stop the receivers if you want to have a shot at winning that division. And you take a look at every team, outside the Patriots, of course, there's some serious talent at the wide receiver spots. You got Tyreek Hill, and you've got Stephon Diggs. Those are arguably 2 of the top 5 receivers in all of football.
Yep.
So you'd have to figure out a way to stop that, being that you play those guys 4 out of the 17 games. I definitely
believe they take Sauce Walker.
You think they go Sauce?
Hey, listen, I've been preaching that ever since the end of the season. I said that the Jets need a corner at 4, and I've had Jets fans come at me.
We're all 3 on board with it.
Yeah, Sauce. I see Sauce going here. If it's not a wide receiver, it's definitely Sauce Gardner. Because if they take wide receiver here, they could go Stingley or Sauce, whoever they like better.
And now here, I don't think we're going to have – I think position-wise, I think we know who we're going with. That's the tackle. I don't love Cross. I don't know about you guys. I don't love Cross. And if it's down to Cross or Neal, for me, I don't even think about it. I'm going Neal.
Well, the thing is it's the scheme. It's all about the scheme. It's what they want to do. And if they value Cross here higher, that's who you're going to get. Now, you might not want him, but if he's a better fit for what Dabble and Shane want to run on this Giants team, I'm going to accept it. If they take Neal, I don't see the hype in Neal. I really don't. I broke down his film. I don't understand the love affection with him. Everybody's had one since the beginning of the season. The guy takes off plays, in my opinion. I'd rather have Cross. He pancakes people.
You would rather have Cross?
Yes, I would.
And you think he would be good on the right side?
Yes, I do.
Pat?
But that's me.
I think he would be excellent on the right side when it comes to pass blocking and everything. I think he's the best pass blocker in this draft.
So you would go Cross over Neal as well?
I mean, it just depends on the scheme. If they're running the zone running scheme like I think they're going to be running, I think Cross will be better. And he's a better blocker as far as passing to me. Now Neal's upside is way higher for sure, but
It's almost
I don't
like
know. It just depends on what the Giants and Dabo and them want to do.
It's just like the same thing that 2 years ago when we took Thomas. Everybody was breaking down Wirfs and Thomas, and everyone said we got the worst one, and we got the best one.
Yep. I think the only thing here is for me that and some people say I look too much into this, but you take a look at who they faced, the competition they faced. As a guy coming out of Alabama, you're facing much better talent compared to a guy coming out of Mississippi State. Although
that's not true, they're in the same conference.
Yeah, but
they play the exact same people.
No, yeah, but Alabama played in bigger games. They played in. They obviously made it further. He played Georgia the extra time. Not that he was great in that final game, but Max Webster's in here. He said the pick for sure.
Max, what's going on, Max?
Max.
Yeah, it looks like the chat would go with Neal.
Of course.
Oh yeah, they're gonna go with the popular pick.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Jeffy said, I think Wirfs is the best offensive tackle in Thomas. But you take a look at who Wirfs is blocking for. I mean, of course he's going to be.
I think Wirfs is in a way better situation.
Yeah. I mean, he's beside much better offensive linemen. He's blocking for Tom Brady, who he gets the ball out quick. I mean, yeah, he's in a way better situation.
And he's playing right tackle. Thomas is playing left tackle.
Yeah, the blind side is tough.
I was going to say Mississippi played LSU and lost.
Mm-hmm.
Played Texas A&M, lost. Played Arkansas, smoked them. Played Alabama, lost 38-7. That's really not that bad. Beat ACU, beat LA Tech, beat NC State, lost to Memphis. Played LSU again, lost 28-25. Beat Texas A&M 26-22. Played Alabama again, lost 49-9. So he did go up against good competition, but that's just one guy against a really good defense.
He's an offensive lineman, so
right, his stats.
Block. He's not able to go on the field and put up points. He's just blocking. So I don't really look at teams he's played as far as judging offensive lineman. I just judge on what he did against that player.
Mm-hmm. Right, but if I could have found his stats real quick, it would have been interesting with those teams.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the chat, a lot of people like Neal.
And I think more so in these mocks, I think it comes down to what, not so much what I want, but what I think. And I think the Giants will be, higher on Neal than Cross, based off what guys are saying. But again, how much do you want to believe those guys? I think
there's been reports saying they are heavily involved with Cross too.
They are. They actually talked to him a lot. A whole lot.
Dude, you got two teams that are back to back that have been really interviewing this kid.
Mm-hmm.
So could it be a smoke screen?
And then I'm going to go with Cross at 6. Because I think Carolina, I don't know about you, but I think they go with a tackle.
The quarterback is really in play right here too.
It is. I
Only
still feel like
because they didn't trade for Baker Mayfield or anybody, and they need a quarterback.
yeah, but
And I don't think they want to go into the season with Sam Darnold. I'm just
no,
going to
they
be
don't.
honest with you.
I
Right.
don't think they will either. But I have a feeling they're going to end up with Mayfield. I don't know why. I've had that feeling ever since the Browns traded for Watson. I could be completely wrong, but I don't think. Not that
Really?
Mayfield is a greatly established quarterback, but I think Matt Rule is going to view Willis as a guy that isn't going to be able to step in and take you to the playoffs right away. Whereas Mayfield, he's been to the playoffs. He could, and I think if you're looking at it from a 1-year standpoint, I think Mayfield gives you a better shot than Willis to make the playoffs.
With his attitude?
And I think Mayfield's going to be an absolute terror over there.
I do too. I think he's going to be nothing but a nightmare.
Right.
Well, he'll
And
be
Matt Rule giving up
anyway.
that easy? If Matt
You
Rule
got to
gets a
think the
quarterback this
situation
year,
Mayfield coming from. This dude is coming from a perfect situation. It couldn't
right?
do nothing.
Right. I mean, Matt
You
Rule,
think
if he
he's going to
drafts
go
a
to
quarterback,
Carolina and do anything? Shit.
if he drafts a quarterback this year, he'll have another year to coach. He signed what, a 7-year contract, 6-year?
Something like that. I think it was
So
a
yeah, he's going to
6-year or
get at least
7-year.
one more year. So if he drafts a quarterback right here, he's got another year. If he doesn't, he's given up, and he said he wants to go back to college. So you don't know what they're going to do here. Maybe the GM just overrides him and does take a quarterback for the future.
Mm-hmm. So you guys think that they go Willis over Cross?
I think it would. It's something that would at least jumpstart the fan base. If nothing else, they're going to
Right.
go like, we got Willis. Okay, maybe they're looking at something, and you know what? You got a quarterback that you got on a rookie deal. When you bring in your next head coach, you can run him for a year or two. They can see what they got and then develop. I think when they want their guy, whether it's a year or two down the road from when they first hire, run with him for a year and then the next year get it their quarterback. Or get theirs next year if they don't like anything about him, if they watch tape, It's not going to cost them anything.
The only issue is Matt Rule. You got to take a look at his job's on the line. That's the only tough thing here. And for most coaches and GMs, I think if you take a quarterback, you buy yourself some time. I don't think Rule by taking I think regardless of what he does, I think his job's on the line.
Well, I'm not going to trust my line to Mayfield. I'm sorry, but nope.
Yeah, and I wouldn't trust Darnold either.
Right.
So
you're
I think they go quarterback.
Right.
And don't be surprised if they took Matt Corral right here.
You don't think they like Will?
I think they would go Matt Corral.
You do? All right. So you
because
think
that taste of Cam Newton might have rubbed them the wrong way.
You think Willis could be the third quarterback off the board?
Yeah. I think he needs to be the third quarterback off the board, to be honest with you. I think he needs to go in the second or third round. I'm telling man, people just love hype, man. I'm telling you.
I don't think he's good at all.
Right.
I think he's better than Pickett, and I don't know.
I don't think he's better than Pickett. I don't think he's better than Matt Corral.
And there's a lot of Ritter talk right now, too, man. There is a lot of Ritter talk and Corral talk.
Shit, don't be surprised if he went number
Sam
6.
Howell's getting boosted right now. Yeah.
All right, let's do Corral.
Oh, you're fine, Christopher. And here, I'm going to say it. Wilson.
Pat?
Yeah, I would like Wilson right here. We took who with the number 5 pick?
Neil.
I mean, Thibodeau is there. Kyle Hamilton is there. It just depends on where they want to go. If they feel Stingley is good, they could go Stingley. Shit, if they like Jameson Williams more than Wilson, they could take him there. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. But I know one thing. I wouldn't be mad if they took a receiver right here.
Jeffrey, I'm looking at the team.
I'm with Jeffrey as well. I would go Tibbs. And I also think that Stingley.
You're
I think
forgetting
I like Stingley.
there's people in the front office that don't like him.
I like Stingley, and I think he's very much still in play.
Are you talking about Tibbs?
Yeah. We don't know who that front office personnel is. It might not be Mara.
Somebody, I think that report was true. Somebody is not liking his attitude because he
Yep.
is coming off as real snub.
Yep.
Like the comments that he's making, how can you say I'm not the best player in this draft? You're crazy and all that. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Say it's a smokescreen, Jeffrey. Other coaches have said it. If one coach said it, fine. But other teams have been saying it.
The Lions,
Yeah.
Panthers.
Lions are second. Why would they say it? They know they're going to get him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, why would the Lions say it?
Right.
Yep.
Like,
I think Trayvon Walker here would be in play as well.
No.
I think it
depends on how they feel, man.
I wouldn't prefer to go that route, but I think it's in play. What do you guys think about Stingley?
I think he's an immense talent. He just gets hurt too damn much.
Right. Do you want somebody that's got an injury history coming out of college? I mean, we're already complaining about the guys resigning in free agency. We're complaining about Riggs, a la Sterling Shepard. Galladay couldn't stay healthy. Ingram was getting hurt all the time. Barkley's getting hurt. DJ gets hurt. Thomas gets hurt.
Tony
Barkley.
Yep.
Like this whole team is hurt. So.
All right.
I'm gonna go Tibbs. I'm gonna go with the chat. I'm gonna go with what I would do in this spot. I'm gonna go Neal and Tibbs, and I think I don't think there would really be a whole lot of Giants fans upset with that.
No, they're not going to be upset. He's the popular guy.
That's the splash.
Only thing I got to say about Thibodeau, I won't be mad if they took him, but only thing I got to say about Thibodeau, if he does have that arrogant attitude in Wink's system, he's not going to be just able to pin his ear back and just run after the quarterback. He's going to have to go into certain gaps to get that blitz to go. And if he's not willing to do that, this defense could get picked apart. Because if he's supposed to have an inside release to allow that safety to loop around and get to the quarterback, and he does that outside release and he gets blocked up, and now the safety's trying to go outside and they get blocked by one person, that opens up this defense so bad.
Yes.
And if he has that attitude where I just want to get mine because I know I'm the best and I know I'm going to be able to do, I'm telling you. And that may be an issue. Shit, Wink might be saying the shit. Who knows?
Right.
Yep. And then at 8, I think the Falcons go a quarterback. And if Malik Wilson's on the board, they've been rumored to really like him. I think they would go there. What do you guys think?
I agree
to give him that Michael Vick feel again.
Right.
But that's going to be the most immense pressure on that kid. That's one of the most pressure situations for him. Because they're already comparing him to Michael Vick. So if he goes there and doesn't do Michael Vick shit, guess what? So I think that's one of the worst situations he can go to.
Think Daniel Jones is getting pressure.
Calvin Ridley is not there. I mean, yeah, you got Kyle Pitts, but other than that, you don't really have much. Seahawks next. I think they go tackle. If Cross is there, I think they go Cross. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I would say Cross.
All right, Cross at 9, and then 10 here. This would be where the first weapon would go off the board.
It's all in who they like.
I think it's Wilson. It seems like they like Wilson.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of Wilson talk.
Yeah, I think they definitely go receiver on one of those first 2 picks. But knowing the Jets, they probably take Drake London.
Yeah, that's true. But they do have a new head coach. He seems like he knows somewhat what he's doing.
Robert Saleh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see him going Wilson.
If Williams didn't get hurt, I could see that. But I think they go Wilson here. And then Washington at 11, I think they go Hamilton here.
Do you?
I don't know. I can't see Hamilton falling that far.
Right. I think they go Hamilton too.
But they don't need safety. They need corner, edge, center, guard. I mean,
No, they need
they're-
safety bad.
They do need safety because their main safety is Landon Collins, and he's a train wreck.
Oh shit! I didn't know Collins went there. Sorry for swearing.
No,
Shoot.
I-
It said corner. That's why I was like safety.
yeah, no,
Oh, I was looking one team down. I'm sorry. We're talking Washington.
they still don't need a safety or DB.
I mean, I could almost see Linderbaum jumping here.
I can
I
see him jumping there too.
I hope
And
not.
I could see someone like a Zion Johnson jumping there too, because they lost their guard.
Yeah, exactly.
So I could see an offensive lineman going here for sure.
'Cause they got to get some. They got to get Carson Wentz some linemen.
And they need a right tackle real bad too.
Yep.
Mhm.
Trevor Penning might go right here.
Penning or Linderbaum.
I'm gonna lean Hamilton.
Okay.
I'm gonna lean Hamilton.
You all know how Wentz is when you don't have protection. Whew.
I think Wentz is bad even with protection. He had the best.
I do too, but
Look at the situation he had in Indianapolis. Does it get much better on the offensive line than that?
how much worse is Washington's line? He's going to get killed.
I think
Washington
he's.
The
line
Giants
is
are
not
going to
that
sack
bad.
him 8 times.
I think he's
I
a
hope we
shitty
do.
quarterback regardless.
Now, right here with the Vikings, I
Again,
think that if Stingley makes it to number 12, I think they go Stingley with the connection with Patrick Peterson, and
I
they
agree.
need a cornerback. I think
agree.
they may go Stingley
I
Yeah.
agree.
because if you hit on him, man, he's going to be one of the best corners in the league.
Mm-hmm. And now here, I think the Texans go receiver. I think they go Jameson Williams.
do you? I think they go London.
Yep, to get that bigger receiver to go with
Yep.
Brandon Cooks.
Yep.
Let's go with London. I think it's could go either way. Here
I think
Baltimore.
it'd be London.
I think they go.
Twin
I think
Towers, yes.
I think they go here. I think they go Jordan Davis.
Me too. I think Jordan Davis can go here.
Yeah.
I think that would
So
be
I was just going to say defensive lineman right here. That fits their freaking draft
That'd be a perfect
status.
fit. a perfect.
Yes.
All right, we're all on board there. The Eagles, the stinky, shitty, fuckery organization. I hate the Eagles. I think they go linebacker here. I think they take
I think
that.
they went Trent McDuffie.
I think they go. I don't know what order, but I think they go DB and linebacker.
Trent
Well, if they go
McDuffie is like the
linebacker,
best guy right now. He's 11th. But you got Lloyd right there at 15.
All right, let's go with McDuffie, and then this is a tough one. They could go receiver, they could go tackle, they could go quarterback.
I think they go tackle.
Yeah.
You
Penning?
think they go tackle? You think they
Depending
go-
on Ramen.
I think they go. I like Penning better than Rahman, personally.
Penning. If they don't go quarterback right here.
Yeah, I don't think they
If-
go receiver.
If they go quarterback right here, though, I could see Howell.
I could see
and
Howell. I could see
they're-
Ritter. I think it's Ritter or Howell. I don't think it's
Right. Because I think you're going to look at Pittsburgh coming up. They're going to be looking at a quarterback too. Don't be surprised if the Saints, if Howell falls right here, they might be in love with that guy.
Mm-hmm. And you got to remember that they do have a pick right before the Saints, so there's no team that threats you to take a quarterback unless the Steelers jump the Eagles.
Right.
Or,
Right.
sorry, jump the Saints. I think they go Penning though. I think they go tackle. I think they go Penning, and then the Chargers here. This is tough, but I think they
I
take
think
the
they
next.
go linebacker, either defensive tackle or linebacker.
I don't think they go D tackle because they got Khalil Mack.
He plays edge. You get a defensive tackle to take on two people, and you got Mack and Bose out there.
Mhm.
It's
You
ridiculous.
know what? You know what? I could see Trayvon Walker going right here.
I was just gonna say that. I think it's gonna be one of the Georgia guys. I think it's gonna be Walker or Wyatt.
I would take Wyatt.
I think they go Wyatt here, because they have dominant edge rushers already. I think they go Wyatt. So we'll do that there. And then here, I think the Eagles, I don't really think it's really a question. I think they go Devin Lloyd. If he's
They
there
have
when
to.
they pick, I think they take him.
Right.
And now
It
here's
makes
where it gets interesting. Because we just had them take in the tackle, Trevor Penning. Now what? Do they go quarterback?
Yeah.
I think they go Ritter.
Yeah.
I think
Ritter or Howell, they're going the next two picks. Ritter and Howell are going the next two picks.
I agree. I personally like Ritter better. I think he would be perfect. It would be a perfect situation for him with Pittsburgh. I think he kind of matches what they want to do there.
I think Howell matches what Pittsburgh wants to do because Howell's just like a Roethlisberger type. Pocket.
So let's do Ritter and Howell back to back.
Yep. I like that.
And then, oh man, I almost took Williams by accident. And then here, I think the Patriots go with a receiver.
Jameson Williams.
Yep. That's their pick.
And then the Packers, they do have another pick at 28. So
yeah, but they better get what's his name?
They go Chris Olave,
wide receiver. Yes.
I agree. I think they go Olave. And then I think the Cardinals, I think they take Linderbaum here.
That could be
So we'll go.
I definitely think that's true too.
Yep. And then Dallas, I don't think they have a choice but to go with one of the guards.
I think they take Zion Johnson right here.
Right.
I agree. Buffalo, they just got Von Miller. Man, these edges are really falling. These two right here.
I'll be honest with you. I think they go Nakobe Dean or cornerback.
You think
actually Andrew Booth Jr. makes more sense.
I think
you put Andrew Booth Jr. Yeah, you put Andrew Booth Jr. or Kyer Elam
or even Petrie.
You don't think they'd look at Travis Jones?
Petrie is more of a safety.
No.
I don't think so either. I think they go Kyer Lamb. I like Kyer Lamb over Booth Jr.
Didn't they just get a corner? Didn't they just sign somebody, the Bills?
No, they got Von Miller.
Yeah, but I thought they
I think they go Kyer Lamb. And then the Titans, I think they go with an edge.
I think it's Trayvon Walker or Karlaftis makes sense right here.
And Jermaine Johnson, too.
I think they take Trayvon Walker over Jermaine Johnson right here.
I agree.
Trayvon Walker fell this far, which I don't believe.
I don't think
he can actually be your number one damn pick. That's crazy.
I know. That's what's crazy.
Now, here where I think Kenyon Green will go.
I agree.
They need to get. They need to get an inside lineman. They lost two of them.
And then since the Packers went receiver already, I
think they take Karlaftis and get another edge because they lost one of the Smith brothers.
Makes sense. And then I don't think the Chiefs. I think they go Jahan Dotson here. Maybe even Traylon Burks, but I think that Jahan Dotson is the pick for them here.
Yeah, they go Jahan Dotson.
He's more multi-tool.
And then I think they go with a corner here. Just looking at how tough their division just got.
I definitely see them go Andrew Booth.
That'd be a good fit.
I think they go Booth here. And then with the Bengals up next, I could see an edge rusher. I could see Jermaine Johnson.
Yeah, I could see that too.
And then Detroit.
Nakobe Dean.
Yep.
I don't know how this guy makes it to 32. I think he's just such a strong player, but
I think if he's there in the late 20s, somebody's going to trade up and get him.
I agree. As a Giants fan, I wouldn't
mind it.
I would trade up. So Hutchinson, Pickett, Aquanu, Gardner. Giants go Neal, Thibodeau, with the Panthers taking Corral in between, followed by Willis, Cross, Wilson, Hamilton, Stingley Jr., London, Jordan Davis, McDuffie, Penning, Wyatt, Lloyd, Ritter, Howell, Williams, Olave, Linderbaum, Johnson, Kyra Lamb, Trayvon Walker, all the way at 26. Kenyon Green, George Karlaftis, Jahan Dotson, Booth Jr., Jermaine Johnson, and to close it out, Nakobe Dean. That is a solid draft. No question about it.
But you know, it's gonna be 2 or 3 guys nobody thought of is gonna be in that first round.
Mm-hmm.
Wait till you see how different it looks. Draft
Right.
Taj, what's good?
Taj in here. Do you guys have time for a quick Giants 7-round mock?
Actually,
No, that I don't.
yeah, actually, I gotta bounce here in a second.
My wife's getting home, and
No problem.
Yep. But
right.
man, it was definitely fun coming on with you, LA. I
Yes,
appreciate
thank you.
letting us on, bro.
Thanks for coming on.
And I definitely think that's how that first round can go, but it's always been weirder. So you may see a Carson Strong go ahead of one of those guys. You never know.
Oh my God.
Yep.
It'd be amazing if it did.
But thank you guys for coming on. Anybody that's new, hit the like, subscribe. I got both of these guys' channels in the description below. Big Pat Sports Talk. He had 1,000 subscribers a few weeks ago. So congrats on that, Joel. You're moving up. So congrats to both guys, and enjoy the draft. And I'm sure we'll talk and recap it from a Giants perspective, Giant fan perspective, shortly after. So thank you guys for coming on, and
thank you.
We'll see you guys
soon.
Right.
See you guys later.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.